Again, just make sure we are all times, and also please keep all of our body parts inside. And the animals who live in here are masters of camouflage. They will use their natural colors, like browns and grays, to blend into their environment, especially ones like the okapi out on the right-hand side. Now, many people believe that the okapi is related to a zebra because of its stripy legs, but it's actually the only known relative of the giraffe. They have a prehensile tongue that allows them to lick their own eyes and ears, much like giraffes can. And up until about 1901, when they were first discovered by the Western world, they were actually thought to be hallucinations because of how reclusive and shy they are. And of those black rhinos left in the world today, including that one. And that's because they are being poached for their horns. Many cultures believe that rhino horns have some sort of very rarely seen. Those greater kudus are female greater kudus. You can tell because they do not have any horns. Male kudu horns can actually be about 6 feet long. Kudus are actually the second tallest antelope in the world. Can't find any of them. They can also hold their breath for about 8 minutes under the water as well. Looks like a pod of pink-backed pelicans is here to the left. Pink-backed pelicans actually get their name from the pinkish color that their back feathers turn during the mating season. They get a nice kind of dusty rose color, and they are colonial nesters, which means that they like to nest as a group. The theory is that the more birds you have looking out for a nest, the safer that it is. They don't actually use their bill pouches to carry fish like movies suggest. They actually use them more as a fishing net. So they will scoop up their fish with just a little bit of water, and that's because they are cold-blooded. They do have to save their energy for when they need to eat, which is only about once a week or so. And that's because they can eat about half of their body weight. And it looks like we are heading into the savanna and the Serengeti grasslands. These grasslands actually act as a bit of a super highway for the many migratory animals that like to live around here, including a lot of our favorite ones like elephants and giraffes, even animals like lions and cheetahs. And that's because they can stand in one spot, look across the savanna, see any predators or prey. If they find them, they'll be able to hide from them in all the taller bushes and grasses. Now, I do believe that there are some white-bearded wildebeest migrating ways in front of us, so we may be here for just a little while. Those wildebeest do kind of like to cause a little bit of trouble, but we'll talk more about them as we continue on a little bit closer to them. So you can kind of stem a little ways up. They just like to walk in the road. The animals here on the savanna do have the right-of-way on the whole reserve, actually, so if they want to be in the road, well, I guess they get to be in the road. But before we catch up with them, I do see a couple of spotted hyenas. They're going to be here on the left-hand side on top of the Daniel. See them in just a moment. Right about there. See? Look at it. The little fuzzy rock. Now, many people think that hyenas are scavengers, but they do actually hunt for the vast majority of their food. They are a very matriarchal group of animals as well, with the lowest ranking female outranking the highest ranking male. Their call can be anything from their iconic giggling sound all the way up to a whooping noise, which please don't whistle at it, depending on the type of call that the hyenas are trying to make. And their groups are called wildlife reserve. And the way that their horns are curved does deter attacking predators like lions from jumping on their backs. They actually have no fight or flight response, which means that when they are in a dangerous higher world, they can stand about 6 feet at their shoulders. They can actually weigh about 2,000 pounds. My favorite part about those elands is they can actually jump about 8 feet straight up into the air without a running start, which means that it's like a net. If it helps you to remember, both Maasai and Messi do start with the letter M. Now, if you notice those little antennae-like things on top of the giraffe head, wildebeest, meaning wild beast. Please stop whistling at the animals. That's the wildebeest tendency to cause stampedes. When one of them runs, all of them will run as well. Even if they aren't sure why they're running, they'll usually just see their friends doing it and want to participate as well. Now, if you ever get to see a giraffe's tongue, it is a sort of purpley bluish gray color. They're often referred to as having a black tongue. Please stop whistling. They're often referred to as having a black tongue, but they're definitely more purple. That helps keep their tongue from getting a sun. Mandrills are the largest and most colorful monkeys in the world, with males weighing up to about 100
Look, monkeys.
pounds.
Look at the monkeys.
Males, though, are the only ones with a vibrant blue backside. The more vibrant their color, the more dominant the male. Males will actually have about 2-inch long fangs, which they use to show each. Because fully grown males can actually weigh about 14,000 pounds, which is the equivalent of about 7 tons. Females are usually between about 8 and 11. They're basically giant teeth. They're made out of. That means this is the herd, which is all females and all children, those male children as well. Elephants are a little bit weird in terms of their activity. They're both active during the day and at night, meaning that they're both diurnal and nocturnal animals. They usually sleep during the hottest parts of the day. It's because they've got really sensitive skin, so they're hiding in the shade anyway, so they decided, well, perfect time for a nap. In pounds, they actually get their color from the brine shrimp they eat. It's actually the beta carotene that's in them. Out to the right-hand side are the Anacoli cattle. They're also called Watusi cattle, after the tribe that was first to domesticate them. Their horns may look heavy, but they are not. All their students have been keeping tabs on it. They're estimating it to be almost 2 years old and weigh over about 1,500 pounds. All those are ungulates. They lack the athleticism to jump, so they're going to look at the fence and go, nah, I'm good. And that's why they were able to stay inside. They can run at speeds of up to about 65 miles an hour. They can reach that speed in about 3 seconds. However, they can only run that fast for about 30 to 45 seconds. Otherwise, their very, very small bodies overheat. Now, because there's going to be a tree in the way for someone, no matter where you're sitting, you're by the tree stump in the corner. Cheetahs are diurnal animals, so active during the day. However, because they overheat incredibly easily, they're not active when it's hot, like right now. It's because they're going to save their energy for when they hunt. Since they overheat really easily, they're not very good at it. They're not trying to fly. They're just trying to keep their balance and change their direction as well. Now, there's 2 lions out to the left and a rhino out to our right. Contrary to couple of rhinos. Contrary to popular belief, it's actually the lionesses who do all the hunting. The male lion, he just stays behind, watches over their pride, territory, and to need cubs. They're nocturnal animals. And they're very lazy, though it is for about 16 to 20 hours a day. Now, a group of rhinos like this one is called a crash. Perfect for them because they've got terrible eyesight. They usually have to be within about 10 feet of something to see what it is. Another lioness. The rhinos actually navigate better through their sense of smell and their sense of hearing than their sense of sight. That's why the rhinos can move each of their ears independently of one another. Despite the rhinos' really, really horrible eyesight, they can actually run at about 35 miles an hour, back in with their tusks sticking out. That way they can be prepared in case new predators try and sneak up and attack them. They actually use their curvier upper tusks for digging, and pointier lower tusks. Chickens are great at sprinting, not so good at distance running. We are all adults here. All animals do use the restroom. Some of them just have to go out.